Today, we are going to do something on this channel that I haven't delivered to all of you guys since the beginning of this year, and that is the Elon Musk Grok AI XRP price forecast. That is something that we're going to do today. There have been a number of changes, including Grok, that have taken place since the beginning of this year and continue to take place right now. It has been upgraded to its most recent version, and as a result, it now offers a significantly more in-depth analysis. Furthermore, it is important to note that a great deal of change has occurred with regard to XRP in particular. Hence, all of this information will be included into Grok's updated XRP price forecasts. It just had its most recent release update, and I want to show you guys what Grok is truly capable of accomplishing and what it thinks about XRP. Personally, I believe that now is a very excellent moment to do this because, well, to tell you the truth, it just had its most recent release update. And so I began by just asking Grok for a plausible price estimate for XRP in a highly optimistic scenario in which the Federal Reserve prints billions of dollars, the quantity of M2 increases astronomically, and XRP surpasses SWIFT in terms of being one of the main cross-border payment solutions. These are all things that, of course, I believe are likely to occur at some point in the future, and it may take some time, but I do believe that XRP is the cryptocurrency that is in the best position to take on SWIFT, because that is what it was designed for. We are aware that the Federal Reserve intends to print further trillions of dollars in the future. In all likelihood, it is something that is going to take place regardless of the circumstances. Along with the M2 coming up, which is something that we are aware is going to take place as well. The fact that Grok takes all of this into account and provides a bullish case analysis is something that I found to be quite intriguing. It is clear that an exponential rise in M2 might undermine faith in fiat currencies and other forms of currency, which would result in increased investment in cryptocurrencies by both retail and institutional investors. XRP, which places a strong emphasis on institutional adoption through RippleNet on-demand liquidity, stands to gain a disproportionate amount from this possibility, as we have already seen. Recent examples demonstrate that XRP is in fact participating in hyperinflationary area scenarios, supply that are either fixed or capped assets. Investors who are looking for utility-driven assets or repositories of value frequently experience price surges, as you are aware, because there are 59 billion in circulation. To put it another way, it's just a natural manner of accomplishing things. Without a doubt, we are aware that the primary objective of XRP is to take SWIFT's position. Therefore, I do not believe that it is unrealistic to assume that at some point in the future, a more advanced technology that is more beneficial to humans would be utilized. In other words, this is the manner in which technical breakthroughs have been taken forward and have eventually replaced those that came before them throughout history. In general, if a technology is better, if it does it faster, if it saves people time, and if it makes people's lives easier, then that technology is going to be pretty darn successful. Unless somebody who, railroads it, says no, that's not permitted, then it will not be successful. On the other hand, given the present posture that the government takes about cryptocurrencies, I do not believe that this will be the case. We will be able to determine whether or not XRP completely replaces SWIFT and becomes the foundation for global settlements, including the possibility of central bank digital currency cryptocurrency flows. Transaction volumes on a daily basis might potentially surpass $10 trillion. This has the potential to drive the price of XRP higher, maybe reaching between $100 and $200 per coin. It is dependent on the pace of adoption and the velocity. I mean, that is a massive amount on its own. And of course, this does not include the printing of money. You are aware that retail adoption is insignificant, right? Now, indeed, there are some market cap variables to take into account. According to Grok, if XRP were to be priced at $100 per unit, the market capitalization would be close to $6 trillion. The amount would be $11.8 trillion if it were $200. At the moment, the overall market capitalization of cryptocurrencies is somewhere between $2 and $3 trillion, but the value of the world financial markets is in the hundreds of trillions. It is possible that a market valuation of $5 to $12 trillion may be achieved in a future dominated by hyperinflationary cryptocurrencies. Nevertheless, this would need XRP to appropriate a sizable portion of the world's wealth. Grok is essentially stating that this is not a work that anybody can easily complete, but that it would be a highly significant piece if it were completed. Therefore, given this extremely optimistic scenario for XRP, what are some plausible price forecasts that may be made? Grok believes that the price of XRP might escalate to between $10 and $15 due to the acceptance of the cryptocurrency by institutions, the expansion of ODL, and favorable legislation. This is what it believes with regard to the year 2025 to 27. To tell you the truth, I do believe that this is actually quite pretty decent, at least from a conservative point of view. We'll see what happens. We'll go back to this video, I assume, when that time comes, and you can see it right here. I believe that we are really going to touch greater prices than this. I want to be honest, I think we are going to hit higher prices than this within this year, but within the next dozen months. As you're aware, if we were to become the de facto global settlement layer, it is stated that this would entail a price of between $50 and $100 per XRP, which is once again an enormous amount of money, right? I believe that all of us would be thrilled to see XRP prices between $50 and $100. It is very clear that a great deal more must go place before that can be the case. We would have to be exchanging between 5 and 10 trillion in daily transaction volume alone, and a significant portion of the XRP would have to be locked up in escrow. This would be the case. Therefore, it is not a component of the supply that is being circulated and so on and so forth. Consequently, I inquired of Grok, if the XRP ledger were to absorb 100% of all SWIFT transactions, what would be the impact on the price of XRP? In this way, we are able to observe the price range that is considered to be fair. According to what you know, the fair pricing that they provide is anywhere between $20 and $100 per XRP if we're doing 100. Grok essentially takes into consideration the whole circulating quantity of XRP, and it basically is predicting with this estimate the reason why it is down in 2027 as contrasted to 2025. They are stating that the price of this cryptocurrency will be between 12 and 60 per XRP by the year 2027, taking into account the supply after escrow has been released. Grok is practically of the opinion that Ripple will not relock its tokens at escrow, which is something that they have been doing literally each and every time that they have been unlocked in the past. To put it another way, I do not believe that this is accurate in any way. In the event that we were to absorb 100% of the cost, I believe that the price would unquestionably be greater. Nevertheless, the highest limit is clearly visible to you. In 2025, would it be possible for the price of XRP to reach between 100 and 166 per coin? In other words, that is without a doubt astounding. Therefore, I should hunt for a situation that is even more positive, right? I mentioned that if the XRP ledger were to take in 100% of the SWIFT volume, then it would tokenize 100% of the real-world assets on the XRP ledger and triple the retail adoption rate. What would the price of XRP be at this time? Do you agree? In other words, we are double the pace of retail acceptance, we are receiving 100% of the SWIFT volume, and 100% of the RWAs are all taking place on the ledger.